Hey yo, it's your boy Balla, and you now rocking with the Hood Journals.
I remember them days of feeling like my mind is so twisted, of taking these drugs and being so distant. And never since my grandfather died, my whole life is shifting. And now I'm reminiscing about the beginning.
Welcome to the Hood Journal podcast. I'm here with.
It's your boy Balla Brothers, Bronx, New York.
Yes sir. Say that. I'm tired. I just sort of on my interview, I gave my guest their flowers of appreciation. Thank you so much for being patient with me. We're supposed to lock in a couple weeks, a couple months before. Yeah, long overdue. But for me, that was my bad the first time. I wasn't able to make it, but you was able to catch me on a great day. We was able to have a second time to be able to do this. Appreciate you to inviting me to the stew session. I was able to hear you record some heat before we started recording. We had a dope conversation beforehand. And dope artist, dope person, and ready to get the conversation started. Ty, before we start, you mind telling us where we at?
We have Vibe Studios, man. Huts Point area, off of Cypress train station, 6line. This home court, if you look, you know what I'm saying, we show a little bit of around. This is the inside, this is everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Couple videos in here by a couple upcoming artists, but when I say home court, I'm talking about just me and my label mates, Nas, a couple others I'm gonna mention on later on, but just this is main studio that we go to. This is the main studio I've been going to for the past, I want to say 2 years now, consistently. And shout out to my man Stacks, he in the Blue Room now, and doing his thing. Stacks is always the engineer that I'm always working with, so shout out to Stacks too.
I bet, say that. Yes sir. That being said, let's get into the first question. So Ty, talk to me a little bit about your upbringing, talk to me about the neighborhood you come from, family and friends you grew up with, shit like that.
Upbringing. Let me see. My upbringing is, if they want to say the typical, single parent, I grew up with my mom a lot. I always had a bunch of father figures in my life. My pops was there to an extent. My grandfather was there for me to my teenage years. My mom just been always there with me through thick and thin, so I love my mom that much. When she see that, she gonna be smiling with me too.
Yes sir.
But in general, I grew up, I want to say from, birth to like 6 years old in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
Small part of Mount Vernon, near Yonkers, but Mount Vernon to be exact. Then I want to say when Obama, this is how I remember it, when Obama became the president.
So 08.
Yeah, 08. That's when, I think that summer, either, I don't know, but the fall or summer of that year, ended up moving to the Bronx. Was in Parkchester a lot, was in, to be honest, I don't even really ever want to kind of say I jack up a neighborhood or jack a place. I just always put myself as I'm from the Bronx.
Right.
I've lived my life around all of the Bronx. So it's like for me to say I'm from such and such, and then it's like I gotta pull up receipts. I ain't doing that. I feel like I'm just the type of artist. I'm the type of artist that I just want to go off of where I'm from. I'm from New York City. The accent. You know what I'm saying? Got my brothers in the back. They always go crazy with the sturdiness and shit like that. But yeah, man, just I've always been a part of the Bronx. 6 train line, 2 train line, 4 train line. So it don't really matter. Then till now, I don't know. 2016, I left over. I went out to Florida for like 4 years. Did 2 years in high school. Finished out my high school year, and just been doing music ever since then. Like the music really started once I hit Florida, and once I knew ball is coming too. Cause I was heavy on the ball. I was always, dedicated to being I'm gonna go to the A, and being honest with myself, I got there. I got to an extent. I could have been better than how I ended, but shit just happens, and I'm grateful that it's music that I transition to because it's always something I love, and I feel like that plays a part in my childhood too. Let alone from not having my pops a lot, he played a lot of old school R&B, jazz, the freaking Darnell Jones, the Babyface stuff, Brian McKnight stuff. you know, just a lot of that. I grew up on more of that jazzy R&B type of side. More, he was just showing me a lot of game growing up, and then my mom was more of like, you know, hip hop, more, and just pop also, and just overall good music. More of the Beyonce, more of the Michael Jackson, more of the Chris Brown, more of the Usher, more of the, you know, she was also in her 90s thing too, and 80s too, but she just always put me onto that, you know, going into that era where I was born. Another thing also is, right, so yeah, so I've been, when I started, it was over in Florida, and shout out to my bro Bezel. He was the first person I feel like that really gave me a chance with this music shit, and that's what made it out to what it is today. It's like how I'm into the studio with punching in and going into mad shit and knowing how to exit out of a verse, knowing where to put everything at. He showed me and broke me down the business and details of recording and just, you know, being an artist and shit like that. So shout out to him. That's really it right now, because I feel like I'm living through my life process as an artist. I'm living that, so it's not much I can say as of my upbringing. My upbringing is, you know, it's struggle. I've had some, you know, things in the past that hurt me bad and made me feel like I wanted to give up. But I feel like with music, I'm showing that I'm not trying to give up, and I'm trying to push the envelope. I'm trying to show, you know, that I'm ready and I'm here and it's my time. So.
All right, Ben, say that. Let's backtrack a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about. Cause we spoke about it before you started recording. That for me, your mama's boy. For me, you have a great relationship with your mom, being a single mother, raising you in the Bronx. But at 16, you decided to move to Florida. What led to that decision or that transition from moving from the city to Florida?
What led to it is just like I said, like growing up, everybody was calling me a mama's boy, so I get that. Sometimes it got annoying, sometimes it's like I get it.
Right.
But just I don't know, like when my grandfather passed, it was just such an urgency. It was like I gotta get out of here.
Oh,
like,
so your grandfather passed and then you moved?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So it was more of just like once he passed, and that was like, to be honest, that was like at 50. I was 15 when that happened. At 15, that was the biggest life shift that ever happened to me. Like if you want to say for anybody who could explain when was their like most, you know, dramatic or traumatizing moment in their life, like at 15 I was that young that I lost somebody that I truly loved.
Right.
And couldn't understand at that age that somebody that you love can easily disappear, they can easily not be here, and I didn't get that. So I feel like that escape, you know, I'm more shout out to my cousin Dog and Pills. I remember they hit me up and they was living out there. They finally got their shit together. Those are my actual cousins from my mom's side. And they was always sticking by me like.
You got the interview.
Yo, it's good though, but like what the?
No, please don't hurt yourself, bro.
Tell me, record it real quick. Like show me the.
Nah, he's geeking.
Oh, it's respect. I don't want to interrupt the interview.
Nah, you go.
That's my pause everything. That's my bro NFL. Shout out NFL.
Yes.
Never forget Loyalty Records.
Fine,
Harlem, Virginia. What else? What else am I missing? Like you know what I'm saying? yeah.
Everything.
But yeah, just damn, what I was saying.
You were talking about hitting up, I think, your cousins.
We definitely lock in. Shout out to BSR. Shout out to Show Us.
Oh, does she want to be on camera?
Yeah. Do you want to be on camera? You want to be on camera?
Hi guys.
What's up, sis?
She just put up to the spot.
Definitely supporting. Much love. I got you.
Alright.
I don't even have a minute, bro.
Turn it.
Okay.
Yo, everybody's back. Alright, what's that? I'm sorry.
You go. You was talking about, I think, hitting up your cousins that was living out there.
Yeah, so shout out to Pills and Door. I hit them up and I was telling them, like, you know, how I was feeling, what I was going through. And I want to say what really made me really like leave, because I felt like as my grandfather passed away and months later on going, you know, just trying to like figure out life and trying to understand like my grandfather at the time, he was, I believe he was 88 years old living.
Okay.
And for somebody to be 88 years old and he was that person that if you could say in your family that you got somebody that you can be like, yo, can I borrow? And you know they got you. Like like for you to be that old, and for everybody to look at you like the head honcho like that is what I'm saying. It just shows so much of it, like his pride, his legacy, his just character, and that's why I think it stored to me and just made me take a chance, made me get older. I was 15, but when I lost my grandfather, I felt like that was it. I felt like that was like life telling me like this is you're getting older moment. It's not at 21. It's not you doing something else. Not you. This is your moment. This is the moment for you to wake up, realize that you never lost someone that you know that you cared about so much, and to really bulk up and you know get serious about life. Because then if something like that was to happen later on in my life, I feel like you know it would have been. I really can't tell the future, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And just that, I feel like that was based on my decision of just leaving was because you know just how I felt after I wanted to escape. I feel like I want to say that's when, to be honest, I really started going through deep depression. I really started to like see myself thinking too much, overthinking, and that was before I even started smoking weed. That was before I even started doing music. That was before I even, did anything that was in that lane or to make me be that way, like a deep depression or overthinking, shit like that. Like I just, after that, I was just like, damn, like, how can why did he, why now, why this, why that, and all around nobody was helping me. There was nothing that was turning. Ball was just getting worse. I wanted to quit the ball team. I was tight. I just didn't know how to. I didn't know what that transition felt like to be able to adapt and be like, like even in 2018 later on, my actual father passed. You know what I'm saying? Like I had my grandfather in my life, my teenage years, my actual like biological father. He passed in 2018, and that was another hit. And it was just like, not saying I was more used to that, but it was more of me like understanding like. Damn, like life really do keep coming at you. Like no matter how much you try to maintain it, balance it, you keep everything good for a little minute, something just gonna like damn. And it's gonna hit you to the point where it's gonna make you or break you. It's like I wanna say the same thing our teachers told us and told me in school. I see that shit now. I realized I be like, yo, damn, that's crazy. So with this music shit, I just, not even gonna say hope. I know that with this music shit, my message is gonna get across for me to prevail that of me being I don't want to say statistic or saying that anybody else that doesn't do music, is anything. But I'm just saying, in my lane, where I want to go to, where I want to take this music at, I hope to just connect to the people where I prevailed through my career and get that point across and let people know that you could come from nothing, you can come from a little bit of nothing, you come from a little bit of something, but you can make it out of what the fuck you came from. You can change the story, and that's my answer to what you said last. I don't even know what you asked. Oh shit.
You good? Don't worry about it. You said that you started tapping into the music when you moved to Florida. What led to you? What led to music becoming a passion for you when you got to Florida?
Shout out Manny. Shout out Man De Niro. Now, right, this is my junior year in high school. This is the switch in Florida, so I had to go through mad papers, signing shit. My mom had to come with me and shit like that. It was just mad shit, signing everything from New York to Florida for that first time. But shout out to Manny. He was somebody that I met in, it was some class, but we met. And it's this little short white guy, like bro, got tats. But he don't look too intimidating, but he just looked like he could pop off though. But it's like he was rapping, and he was rapping to like some guy with some glasses on, and he had a notebook, like a whole notebook full of like notes, and he was just turning it and rapping it over and over next to somebody. And I was like, yo, like you do music? And he was like, yeah, I do music. And that's what really started that whole thing down in Florida, because then I started looking for engineers out there more. I was heavy, and I was telling my cousin like, yo, like I was not skipping practice in a sense, but at times when I had school going on and still was in the ball loop, and when I came down there, the mission was to continue ball, but the transition into music, it was more like I was even telling my cousin sometimes, I was like, yo, cousin, I ain't going to practice, I'm about to find out where engineers are going to school, like I want to really work. So I guess that came from, me meeting him, me meeting somebody in Florida that had the same intentions as me, just trying to do music and shit. And you know, that's where that went. That energy popped off of like genuine love because he ain't owe me nothing. But we was two people. He was all the way. Shout out to him. He was all the way from Boston and he moved to Florida. And I was all the way from New York and I moved to Florida.
Right.
So
it
was just love. I always talk to people. I always talk to people, you know, with respect. Always talk to somebody like I know their story already. Because once I see you, I feel like I know your story. I can understand, you know, what you've been through. Even if you ain't gotta tell me, it's like, you know, what don't have to be said. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But in general, I feel like that's what popped that off. I feel like that's what popped that off is me and him, and you know, him pushing me. We was in the studio like 5 hours, 4 hours, them nights in Florida, and we had to drive. Like it wasn't no like this, like in New York where everything is close and shit. Like we really had to like drive.
Right, travel.
Yeah, he took his. I remember this. This is the funniest shit. One night we was in the studio and he took his grandmother's like old like Florida looking broke down truck. Had no license. 18, had no license in Florida. Everybody else in my school had licenses. And no license in Florida, bro. This nigga picks me up from my crib. We go to the studio and he's wilding, cutting it up. Police right here. You know how they be in the cuts where it's like, you know, like damn it, they'll wait for you to keep going. He passed them beats, but they didn't do shit. But I was like, yo, so I guess feel like from that probably built off strength for me to just go in and really feel like music was gonna work for me. And it was just me always being an open-minded person. Anything I intend to do or somebody say I can't do, if I intend to do it, I feel like I really can adapt and go fully into, you know, that thing when even that had nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like music, I wasn't always into music, but it was always right next to me. My mom liked it, my family liked it, my cousins was doing music, my brother was doing music. I was the only one that was really trying to do it alone. So it was always next to me. So I just feel like it was just a time.
Right. Remind me the name of bro that you met in school.
Man De Niro from Boston.
Okay.
He reps YNC, Young Niggas in Charge, out in Florida, and he's from Boston. Shout out to him.
Alright, let's say that. What were those first studio sessions like with Man?
Honestly, they was difficult because he was I don't know how it is in Boston, but I guess, and you know what's crazy, because now that Jordan Lucas popped off and shit like that, he's from Boston, I heard, like, I guess Boston really breeds fast rappers, like, they're all fast, they're all, like, when I met him, I was like, yo, how you, he like, and he's, like, making sense and saying it very crisply, and I'm like, yo, bro, how you doing that? Like, I was so hip to, like, just starting, and even going to Florida, I was still just starting, so I was more on. That was like August 28th, Volume 1 days. That was like still my SoundCloud days. That was like me just getting to know myself within recording and shit like that. So going into that, I probably wasn't like 3 more projects in when I met him. Because when I got to Florida, I was still going. I was still finding shit to do. But with him, it popped off as just consistently and just doing it every single day, going to the studio and working on my craft. That, you know, as like I said, at studio sessions, he was mad fast. He was just mad fast, and that motivated me to like be fast with him. Or even if I was on some New York shit and I was slow, he would bring it slow and I would be fast. But I want to say like shout out to bro. I really got influenced by him by seeing that. I didn't know how to do that, so I wanted to interpret that into my artistry and know how to do that and sprinkle that my own way. Without, you know, because people call it copying or, you know, doing all that shit. But I feel like that's what music about. That's what life is about. Like you don't come out the womb knowing you going to do something. You gotta see some shit that you like, and like you really want to intend to be with, you know, how that person is, how they dressed up, how they living, how they getting paid. So it's all influence, to be honest. You know, sometimes there will be, you know, the haters and the people who will copy off of what you do and try to mimic, but it ain't gonna work and it's still gonna be, you know, corny. But at times when people are, you know, I want to go into like how when I do samples and songs, like I feel like when we do samples and we sample old school songs now, like that's showing respect that we, you know, fuck with those moments in within the sample that was picked out and bounced back between a drum beat or R&B beat or whatever. Like we showing, you know, appreciation in that. I think it's always been dope of sampling and recording somebody else, especially like the Tory Lanez and shit like that, that's able to you know, really body they sample and have the approval of, you know, that person who they sample be like, nah, I fuck with that shit. So,
Right.
yeah.
Alright, man. Let's talk a little bit about a couple of your recent projects. I think it was a couple weeks ago. It was the 2-year anniversary of the Melodics tapes Deluxe. I listened to that on the way over here. I know that you're heavy on you self-proclaimed melodic R&B, but I felt a lot of Travis Scott influence on that project.
Yeah.
So, tell me, what do you remember most about making that project?
To be honest, that was more of right. So before that project, I had a project called Take. That was
a collab project, right?
Yeah, it was a collab project with me. And, that was a collab project with me and my old homie. I want to say my old homie because that's like a touchy subject I can't really talk about now that it's continuing to go. But shout out to him though. Shout out to him. That was a collab project I did. That was more of me going into 2020 was me, right? I want to say 2017 is when I started doing music.
Right.
2018 is when I started building up my catalog. 2019 was me saying like, I got songs in abundance of what I want to say on these songs and shit like that for people to hear and really listen to and really get tapped in with.
Right.
2020 was more me saying like, this is the goal, this is the move, this is what I'm paying myself to be, this is the artistry, let's get merch, let's get interviews, let's get videos, let's just get my face going out there. 2020 was more of that move of like me just finally blossoming into who I knew I could be and who I know I am. So for the Melodics tapes, that process was amazing. I want to say that was all recorded by my boy Elijah. Shout out to Elijah Hill. He's from the Bronx. He produced mad big New York rappers throughout the city. Those days was broken-hearted love days. Those was like going through relationships and even that. Like I said, like my life has always been like a story where it's been my grandfather passed in the beginning and then my actual dad passing in the middle, and then now with the 2020 time frame, that's when I went through heartbreak. I went through a toxic relationship. I went through noticing, when you're in something, you're not really aware of knowing how to get out of it or not knowing, if it's bad for you or not. And I guess I had to go through that, and through that process, I made what I call the Melodics tapes, abundance of tracks that almost like a chick's tape, just me, push and play into my life, but into now me talking about love. Now me talking about like an actual, story behind my life more than what I did before SoundCloud days or anything under. Because like I said, 2019 is where I started. Then I put out my first single with a video and everything, stuff like that. So 2019 is when like I knew it was gonna start. Like I knew I wanted to start this and say, I'm an artist, I'm official with it, this is how we're pushing it, this is what I'm behind, this is what I go by, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is stamped in. So, what I was saying.
Yeah, you go. Take your time.
That's really been it. It's just, just that. That's it. You sound very good.
You good. 2 follow-up questions. Talk to me about 1, what was the reception to the project? And then 2, what role did the pandemic play in creating the project, good or bad?
I want to say good, tremendously good, because it showed me a lot about the quote, quality over quantity. It showed me a lot about, really, like I'm doing now, like we just did a whole 9-hour studio session. Really, it's not even about how many songs I'm recording. It's about how many songs like get fully recorded and processed and everything sound right. Vocals is everything is sound right to the point where when I leave out of here, I'm more than satisfied. It's not like I rushed it to do multiple songs in a little bit of an hour, a little bit of a time frame, and then leave out with a song that's half-half done and I'm upset with how it could have been that time. You know what I mean? So I'm just working on keeping that process still alive. But pandemic really changed how I went about recording, and I feel like with the Melodics tapes it was real easy because from Take I was learning how to start to adapt singing more. I was melodize a lot, like you said, the whole Travis thing. Travis heavily shout out to the track. Travis is definitely an influence. I want to say, but let me actually be like fully honest with this. I want to say from when I literally said I wanted to get into music, that's when I tapped into Travis a lot. So 2019 is when, like, I always knew about Trav, I always knew about his old projects, I always tapped into Birds and the Trap and all that shit. But really 2019 is when I tapped into his sound. I see he was doing a lot of, I don't know if you see, he was doing a lot of concerts that were loud, and he would always have auto-tune in his mic. And that caught my attention because it's like, you don't really see that, like at that point, I guess when I was going into the music thing, I was like, I don't really see a lot of artists performing while, you know, having auto-tune on their mic and still sound sonically good. Like it's not, like the pitch is not changing, he's keeping it one way, he's yelling at a fan, he's letting somebody sing the lyrics, you know what I mean? So it's like, for you to have that balance, I feel like I was gaining that same, you know, sonically sound that he has. And like I said, everything's the influence, so I guess, you know, down, I like along the way, I definitely picked up a couple of his traits and just, you know, put it into my style, put it into my New York vibe, and, you know, talk about what I go through and still make it sound like me. You know, I hear a lot of people tell me the comparisons, but I feel like I'm the type of artist that I take that, like how you said, as a great compliment because it's somebody who's on. You know what I mean? It's somebody who's doing it. It's somebody who's at the top. So if I'm getting compared to somebody, if somebody be like, yo, you sound like, you know what I'm saying? I like those because it's like, okay, at least I'm doing something good for you to say I sound similar or to a nearest extent for you to even put me in the same name. So I definitely look at that as a good thing. I appreciate you.
Of course. Next project I want to talk about. 2 months ago, you dropped the EP "Love to Death." Talk to me about
that was actually the debut album. That was the debut.
Oh, that was your debut. Okay, right.
That was the debut album.
Okay.
With that, it got I think on Apple Music listed as a compilation. I don't know why. When I put it out, it was a straight. You know, I like the Love to Death is the project of mine that displays all of what I'm talking about through this interview of me losing my grandfather and up till now. It talks about literally the love parts of my side of my life and shit like that. It talks about me finding out how I got my name. I got an actual song on there called How I Got My Name. It talks about, you know, the beginning, where I started, how I started. It talks about, you know, like I'm damn near just name dropping the tracks, but it's pushing me away. It's me talking about, you know, how you could be in a situation where you getting pushed away, or you feel like you gotta push somebody away close to you, when you know it's, you know what I'm saying, you know that's a tough thing to do because you've been so with them, you so close to them and shit like that. So I talk about a lot. I get into a lot of shit because I kept all of those tracks in the hard drive, really not because I knew they wasn't ready, but more because of like I want to pick the right time for them to be ready, and for me to have this, you know, with you. Be able to tell my story and everything like that, helping me tell the audience and everything. Right. It's like I wanted this time frame like that. I wanted it to be bittersweet in a sense. So, that project is just more of me just showing my life. And the cover is my dad. God rest his soul. It was just more of me. It was just showing the respect of, because Love to Death is when I feel like you grow up like how I did, and you go through something out of nowhere, it shows about your character, and you can just overcome that and prevail that, and still, you know, not brush that off, not forget who you lost, not forget who that person was and what they meant to you, and how much of a time frame you spent with them. But just like that honoring feeling, like if you lose somebody you love, it's like you want to take that with you. You want to take what they gave to you and what they meant to you, and just bring it out to the world. I feel like with the cover, and that's what I do for August 28th. I like celebrate the people I love in my life, and that's what I am as an artist. And how can I say it? I'm an expressive artist. I'm an artist that I express on my experience only. You know what I'm saying? I don't lie. I don't do anything in my music but tell what I go through. You know what I mean? So. That was really technically my debut album. Like I felt the momentum. I felt people, you know, wanting certain songs that I never released out of those, and those was held off. All of those was recorded in 2019. Some like Cold Blooded was recorded 2022. What else? Mostly all of them was 2019, but for them to sound like 2019 and for me to sound like it is now, I knew it was gonna sound all the same. It was gonna combine like it wasn't even a gap. Because shout out to my boy right here, R9. Bring the camera there real quick.
You doing camera?
Yeah, no, I'll take the camera time. Camera time, real ball of action. What's going on? Nas, man, Nazi,
Right.
Nazi Virgo coming out.
Exactly. This is my label mate right here. This is top dog. This is my right hand man. This is everything. This is he been here since
First signee?
since before I even left to Florida to have that inspiration to want to do music. So
you've been for a minute.
exactly, right? So even with that, what I was about to go into was damn, what I said. I just called you a minute. Right. So let alone this my boy right here. I'm gonna skip what I just said. This is my boy right here, right? And we started the movement from just brotherhood, from just that thing. And now that I remember, what I was going to is Love to Death is all about, you losing that special someone and overcoming it and just, just bringing that. I want like each and every song, somebody should feel something. Somebody should be like, damn, like I relate to that. I understand that. I can see how he was going through that. So,
Bro, remember what your name was again?
Nas.
Also, can I call you Nas?
Yeah,
Call me Nas. That's perfect.
Nas,
Nas.
or Nas.
I bet. So since for me, you said you wanted the camera time, I gotta ask you the tough question. What do you feel like is the most important track on Left to Death?
Most important?
Can I answer too?
Yeah, but let's let him answer first.
That's tough.
The way I look at it when it comes down to that exact project, because that really is a good question. I'm not even gonna lie.
Thank you.
I feel like overall, the whole thing is important. It's like the whole concept behind like even Left to Death is mostly like he said, losing someone that a loved one. You know what I'm trying to say, but always realizing that love really don't really go anywhere, even when death do come around. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's like that question is kind of like not rhetorical, but only because it's like the whole concept just like it brings the whole thing. So like the whole thing is important because you really do, like he said, you gotta feel it. And I feel like every song and everything that he usually just comes up with on this exact like project, man. It's always a different feel, but you're always gonna feel it. And I don't know. It's just the overall thing. Like he said, you're gonna feel
each song
it.
go into each other.
Definitely.
Yeah, just
each song go into yeah. So I mean, I would say the most difficult song for me to record was Dreams of Dying. I was more me talking about my grandfather and my dad at the same time, referencing them. But just finding that right outro song. Really, that's how I went about it. Finding that right outro song to really give off what I meant by Love to Death was like, you can go through something, but that shit don't make you like I hate people. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit don't define you as a person. So it's like I want to speak for that group of people who just go through that feeling and have such of a music and always listen to it and be like, oh yeah, I'm going outside, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Fuck what they say. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what my music should give you. That's what each and every song should give you. That's how I even label my songs is going into it. Like I want somebody to feel like this.
That's the feel that it gives off my boy. For sure.
Tape coming soon, real soon. That's another thing. Tape coming soon. This the label mate. Like I said, this always been with me since day one. Freaking both of our process like together recording came up. Like it's just always like literally like this. We've been doing this since 2018. 2018 we've been booking studios, coming, Dolo, us two, whatever. No matter what, just locked in, just completely locked in, bro. I'm telling you.
And the whole process behind it is like it was so many obstacles because it's like, yo, bro, like we had a lot of things just like coming back and forth. So it was like even with the whole personal thing when COVID came around, like a lot of things got personal for us, and then we always try to find a way to just lock back in, bro, because it really was that passion and we really did come from the bottom with it. It's like for me, being by his side, even when he was back in Florida, me and him used to just chop it up every night, being on the phone like, yo, bro, I got some new music. Music needs to hear it,
like over the phone.
And it was like that's how bad we wanted the craft to just keep building and building, because we knew where we started from. And it's like, even in this interview right now, it's like, wow, like I'm trying to say like, wow, for real, things really like came up somewhere.
But yeah, man.
Say that. Talk to me a little bit about the label. It's called Balla Brothers?
Yeah, Balla Brother Records.
All right, talk to me.
And Balla Brothers in general. It's a movement that started late 2018, really officially 2019. It's a music label now. It's a clothing brand officially. It's just something you want to live by, stand by. You know, now I'm not gonna say die by, but just in general, you ain't death row. But in general, you would want to be on this side because the energy is always genuine. It's always all of us. We, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Like
family oriented.
yeah,
without
real
being
family.
relatives,
That's what I'm saying.
you know what I'm
Without. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we, you know, I came up with the name of just, you know, being a basketball player and always having bowler, having the ER at the end, and I was like, why not change it to LLA? And you know, I put a couple of times people will mistake that for like blood terms and shit, but I guess for in the sense of how I'm trying to make it, how I'm going about it, whether somebody can look at it as I'm just putting on, or somebody can respect it as just what I'm doing in general. I ain't blossoming something I ain't.
Right.
You know, I ain't showing off or saying, you know, I ain't doing nothing that's against what I'm trying to put out. But, you know, that's how I came up with the title of Balla Brothers, and just thinking about brothership, thinking about, you know, how much brotherhood, and, you know, having somebody you can always, you know, relate to and talk to as your brother, or even a brother, sister, whatever it is, as we get more girls coming in. But for right now, you know, Balla Brothers is what it is, and it's always been a movement, so it's been something that I stand by.
Todd, talk to me a little about who's a part of Balla Brothers, and then after you answer that, I want to know what do you hope to accomplish in the future with Balla Brothers. You talk about how it was created, what you guys got going on now, but what is it that you hope to accomplish in the future with it? And Nas, I need you to answer too.
Well, say get his answer because he was ready. I say how he boo. He told about he was like shit, nigga.
Because you know this is your interview for me. I'm just here for the what was the first question that you asked?
Who's a part of Balla Brothers Records?
So I ain't gonna lie, for me, like you said, for me, when it comes down to this label, I definitely do play like the other half of everything. So, legitly, you know, other than us two, we have my son Mel. You know, Mel's another artist that's coming up. You know, he got a little something coming out in a little time, so you know that's him. And I'm not gonna lie, when it comes down to like legit signees, it's just the three of us. You get what I'm trying to say? But when it comes down to people like having that mutual respect for us and so on and so forth, but you know, we got a couple of people that we just make music. It's always just like a business side of everything, but you know,
I'm about to say not because you off. It's more like I said, brotherhood, brothership wise, this shit goes like everybody know each other. It's a lot more people. Niggas I know from San Francisco, I know just anywhere around the Bronx, anywhere around New York City. We all know everybody from everywhere in a sense. So we play our part. Whoever do Jack Balla Brothers, they are the ones who want to talk about. So if they see it, they be like, yo, time for it, doing shit. But really, it's more just like I said, it's a brotherhood first. So it's a lot of us, but musically wise, yeah, it is three. You know what I'm saying? And then clothing brand wise, we got everything going on. The clothing brand that's coming soon later on this year. But in general, you know, it moves. It's a movement. It's like a QC. It's one gonna be the label, then gonna be a movement, then gonna be an actual brotherhood. So.
Okay. Gotcha. So now it's time. Let's ask the question to all my guests to get us go how they feeling. But how's your mental health?
Shit.
like bring my mental health for me. I got my own little ball in my head. My shit low, but at the end of the day, there's always gonna be good outcome somewhere for me, and the grace of God, most definitely. Big G and Baby J got me. I mean, so most definitely, my mental health is low, but at the end of the day, you know, there's always gonna be some type of outcome. It could be a person, me being at the studio, being with my boys and all of that will definitely, you know, bring it up here and there. So I'm good. I'm good.
Say that. Thank you for that. Ty, talk to me.
Shit, what was the question again?
you know what the question was. You know what the question was.
Right?
You know what the question was. Wait, 3 out of what? Out of 4?
Yeah, 3. I want to say
3 out of 4?
No, I thought 3 out of 10.
Okay.
3 out of 10. Damn, we doing out of 4. We doing that now.
No, I'm just joking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Well, out of 10, I'm like calm 5.
You a 5? You a 5 to that? I ain't gonna lie, I'm really a 10, but like if we talking mental, how like on like after we leave out of this motherfucker, I'm a 3.
Yeah, I might jump down to a 2.
I'm saying. Nah, I don't say that to be negative. I can say that to
No,
be funny.
talk, share as much as you're comfortable with. You can say as little or as big as you want.
No, I appreciate you. To be honest, it's really just like I said. It's all about having a balance, and like I said earlier, you can have, you could try to have life figured out and have everything going right, bills paid right, everything on time, mom's good, girl right, kids good, everything. You could try as much as you can, even as a man, as a woman, no matter what, who you are. Human being, not something that's going to interfere. Sadly to say, and it's a testament to your character and as what you're gonna do after it, and maybe it'll derail you, maybe it'll change your mindset forever, maybe you'll never be the same as you was before that happened, but it's life, and that's what I would say to any other artist, trying to be independent with their own shit like I am. Like, that's literally the best way I can explain it, as how I always feel. It's just like, I always gotta be aware, I always gotta be aware of what I'm doing and how I spend my money, and I'm young and I want to do shit, and I want to go out and do shit, but also I know that I really do love music. I really do love music to stay in this shit for, sleeping tonight, like we do it tonight. Nigga, we sleeping in motherfucker. 12. So,
yes,
in general, I like this so much to give my all into it and really, stand on that without any interferences. So I guess right now I'm doing good. I say I'm doing good. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you here. I'm grateful
to be here.
Noticed and saw something in me to be able to give me the opportunity to be with you today in person. It wasn't no flop, wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't nothing that's I don't want to he too little or whatever. Like, you always give us a voice. That's something that this is the part where I'm gonna start giving flowers to you. You to me.
Appreciate
he
that,
asked
bro.
all
Appreciate
the questions.
that.
He did all the shit right.
Appreciate
and
that.
I fuck with this interview heavy. This is definitely my first interview ever, actually. But in general, just I appreciate you for just giving me the light. Mamas!
Freshie P.
Mamas! This is my girl, everybody.
How about so you can get Freshie P because I'm going to bring the home.
She might not want to be on the camera.
Oh, well, Freshie P is the brains. Is the brains behind? Is low key behind the brains behind the Balla brothers. She definitely. For me, going on my dog. For me, she all the executive decisions being done,
she
always be something. But damn, what did you ask?
No,
I was praising you.
Appreciate that.
Everything good. But not for real though. I definitely appreciate you coming out, and it definitely means a lot because it shows that I'm at least getting somewhere. And I wasn't here a year ago. I wasn't here the year before that. So now I'm here. So I definitely appreciate the moment I'm in. People who I'm with, and just what I'm doing. Doing my time.
She had a onesie, right?
Thank you, bro. Feel me? I wouldn't be here without you. Feel me? I do interviews, but I need people to interview. Feel me? And we got tons of people that actually fuck with the support what I have going on. So we here. Last question before we get into the quick hitters. Ty, Nas, what kind of legacy do y'all want to leave behind with y'all music? What do y'all want to accomplish? Talk to me.
I would say everlasting. I would say like I want my career to be like on some Michael Jackson shit. Like from years to now, other generations will fuck with it.
Top baller.
Yeah.
Kids.
That's what I'm saying. It's everlasting. Like I ain't talking on some high level where I gotta change to pop music, but I'm just saying the music that I make and how I make it and how I sound making it, I want that to be everlasting. I want that to feel like a pop where you can hear niggas later, 20 years later.
Timeless.
Still, timeless music. That's what I really want to leave my career one day or two and just build my career to it. But it's timeless. People don't get tired of it. When they first hear it, when they hear it again, it's like the same time when they first heard it. So timeless.
Nah, talk to me.
Mostly to piggyback off of what he said, most definitely want my career to be something that stands hold for a long time because, just the way that I've been making, the way that I just hold myself up, I always want somebody to know that, like, what came out of my mouth and what I was saying, whether it was outside the booth or in the booth, is like, I want people to feel like more of a relatable type of thing. So I always want somebody to know that, I was here and, what's out of my mouth was trying to reach more people than just people in the hood. Because, like, you think about the people that you grew up with, and like in the hood or whatever case may be, everything is not always the same. And then you think about, like I said in this interview, it was like, wow, where we came from type shit. So I always want my music and my career to, like he said, to hold on, but not to just like people look at like, yeah, I jammed to that, but like always feel like, feel that passion, like understand my story, like regardless if it's 50 years from now, damn, that nigga was old as shit. It's like that nigga's story touched my kids and my grandkids type shit. So like he said, everlasting is a beautiful thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It don't even have to be like rap or anything, just music, poetry, like talk, and bro, having a voice is that's a beautiful thing. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So
just being able to paint a picture and be able to keep it up.
What's your voice is
hook, at verse, whatever it is, you got to preach whatever, just to be able for you to have that, for you to coordinate that right throughout people's ears and for them to listen to you and for it to be like, wow, I fuck with this.
And it's just like where like in your mind is like this shit started in my head.
Yeah, that's dope.
And it connects to people's ears. Or this came from my heart. And
yeah,
it's like
came from my heart type shit. Yeah,
put it on the paper and
Alright, bet. With that being said, let's get a quick hitters. Couple life fun questions I want to ask you. Get the human side of you. The first question I want to ask, feel me? We in the stew. Feel me? We got the munchies on deck. Talk to me. First question I want to get in. What is a typical Balla Brothers studio session like?
Balla Brothers studio session is full of honesty. Well, no. Niggas said fly.
Wait, what you said? You said full of what?
It's mad flock. That's that
flock. Well, I was gonna go into it in a deeper level, but yeah, it's always flock. It's always something just new, refreshing, and just something that's just different. It's real different. But I feel like it's honesty in the room because we always listening not to judge. Like there's never like he doing the drill beats, so he gonna talk that bull. You know what I'm saying? Like it's let me hear what you got to say. Where are you? Okay. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a build up. Like we really listen. Like with no like a freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more freedom. It's more.
So it's different, bro. Everybody's networking. Like, oh damn, I don't do shit like that. But he doing it. It's like just feel the vibe, everything. Man. That's really what all of this is about.
Bouncing off ideas and shit like that. Somebody being like, yo, I feel like this shit will sound better. Like it's never like, yo, throw that shit away, yo, bro.
Yeah,
it's never like, wow.
It's constructive criticism.
Exactly. It's like.
Exactly. I feel like everybody needs that, regardless if you like. If I was to walk into this session right now and be like, I don't even know time. He's just telling me about my knee. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm gonna take that advice somewhere because you're probably right, bro.
Right.
Because when I walk out the store, I play like, yo, bro, you like that? Nah, bro, you could have did this. Damn, that's what Tom said. For me, so I feel like everybody should do things like that, man. Because everybody's mind
just keep it honest so that person can know, and then whatever they do with it is how they. But at least you kept it real enough to give off a real opinion. You didn't just say like, oh, that shit fire, that shit mid, that shit like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like when people opinionate right now, it's like it's I'm not gonna go crazy and say it's messing up hip hop, but it's messing up the viewers and other people who really listen to somebody who actually got something to say on a small platform and not so big and not so pushed out by a label or anything like that. It's like, you really gotta be in tune, you really gotta listen. And I feel like that's what we give off here in every session. We give off as like we just listening, we open-minded and shit like that the whole time. And that's what makes the song so different. That's what makes it original. That's what makes the skits that we do. And sometimes niggas be laughing on the beats and the shit still sound hard. It still go on. Like it's just crazy. So everything is just original. It's just family. It's just a great vibe.
You never really know when we're gonna walk out with. That's what
Yeah.
Dope. Before I ask the next question, just want to clarify. Do y'all both smoke?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What are some of y'all smoking pet peeves? If a nigga do this around Ty or Nas, he can't smoke on no more.
That's true. Get to the pet peeves. I'm not even
he gotta get some shit off his chest.
Wet blunt, man. I can't stand the wet blunt. I think the wet blunt is one of the biggest pet peeves only because, like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, COVID and monkeypox is going around. All that swapping saliva, bro, that'd be down to the minimum now, bro. It should get dangerous out here. And I think, I think canoeing the blunt, bro. Like, before, like, when you see it,
and then you don't do nothing to it, you still pass
it
for me to do it. It's like, what?
I feel like if I'm giving you the blunt type shit and you have the lighter in your possession, you know how to, like, light off a split, why not do it? Even though it's a pet peeve for me, why can't you just light the split? But don't wet the blunt, please. That's all I care about. Anything else you could do, don't fuck up the rotation either. If you know I'm next, don't.
I say the same thing, right? And not canoeing. And fucking, I don't know, like over too much. Like everybody should know it's 3 pulls, right? Puff, yeah.
Depending on how many people we smoking, man. I ain't gonna sit there and say.
But if it's more than 3, if it's like a scythe, like ain't everybody supposed to get 3?
Yeah, 3 and
2-ish, 3, 2.
No, nah, more like a 3.
Like a 3, like a 3,
You
like a
put in
3.
4 if you gonna do like a quick.
But are y'all doing 3 pulls or y'all trying to get high?
Well, if it's on weed,
Look at that.
if it's my weed, I'm trying to get high. If I'm passing over somebody, I'm expecting them, respectfully to take 3 pulls and be up out of here. And I might be generous just because you did that, and I see you did that. Now I'm gonna get it.
If it's my blunts, I'll take 4 pulls and pass it around. But if y'all start taking too long to get it back my shit, and I have no way but to keep smoking, so
Yeah, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, Missy, you recorded this, now everybody gonna know that.
The next question we're gonna get into. Let's go. Nas, Todd. What's the toughest bar y'all ever wrote?
Man, I think every fucking bar that I've read.
It's tough when you have a lot of tough bars.
My toughest. Devon Tough. That's a question for you.
I mean,
That's for you to for me distinguish. What was like for me? What was that one for you?
Off the top of my head, I would say. It was this bar said what and nothing to lose. It was I guess DMGX, that's a cradle to the grave. So DMX, cradle to the grave. So I just DM'd your ex. Now that's a cradle to the grave. You know what I mean? So it's like me shouting out DMX, but saying that's a cradle to the grave because I DM your ex because you gonna get tight because I just did that little
But we know you didn't actually do it.
Yeah.
You didn't actually do it. What was going for that when you made that bar?
I had to go against him. He had a verse on August 28th, Volume 2 that never came out because of. That's when in 2019 I started learning about sampling and what songs was out already. So if alright, so the beat we had on YouTube, it was free and everything. We hit up the producer and everything before that, but somebody had bought it right when we already had recorded. So when I was about to put it out and I sent it out, they said, "Oh, this song includes sampling from another song." They showed me the song, I don't hear it. He was terrible. He was terrible on that beat. I was like, yo, bro, why? Like, damn, bro. So it was because of that song didn't come out with him. But I was like, the reason why I had to do that because I was going against him. He's, I want to say, in my opinion, the more Smith wise within Balla Brothers. More of just like he stick to his New York roots heavy. Me, I stick to my New York roots. New York forever is Bronx forever. But it's just I know how to because I guess I feel like I went out to Florida. I found that source to be able to know when to switch and turn it on and do other shit. So that's when he does the same shit too. He's even vibing now with the melodic shit and the R&B shit. So it's definitely amazing to see his progress and everything too. But yeah, I was going against him, and damn, how did verse go? No, it was it's Top Balla. They like praising my name. Ever since my pops died, man, shit ain't the same. And when my grandfather passed, I was feeling that pain. I guess DMGX, that's a cradle to the grave. Can't wait to see you in jail, just to say free you, but never come to your funerals when they see you. It be the same niggas put your face on their shirts. It be the same niggas put your name in their birth. My first time in the booth, I feel like I was talking to the world. A year later, now I'm talking to your girl. If I ain't got love for it, I ain't stressing it out. 3 of them left, but 1 stand out like Destiny's Child. My fear God, that's the only man I'm scared of. With the OGs, it's handshakes but bare hugs. You mad you wasn't mentioned, now you looking for redemption. We too loud, so I'm lighting the incense. Yo, like that, and mind you, his verse is crazy too on that song. That's why I'm tight. That song when it came out on SoundCloud, so I was tight when that happened. I was like, damn, that song never came out. But that was an addition song. It's only 5 tracks on August 28th, Volume 2. It was supposed to be 6. Just how this last one is going to be 6. So I was tight that it never came out too. But I feel like that's my favorite bar. Like that I can think off the top of my head.
Nas, talk to me.
Shit, man. My toughest bar. I want to say I want to take this from Major Setup. Most definitely when I did a letter to you, when I was like, if I was praying for me when I was like, if blood thicker than water, then I'll drink water forever.
Yeah.
For me, I ain't gonna lie. That was my toughest because that was my first project that I ever did, like on some like we in the studio, like on some shit. That was the first project I ever did, and while I was writing out that whole entire project, it was just certain lines that I was saying, and it was like, damn, that sounds kind of tough, but the next one sounds tougher than that. But I want to say that exact line because it felt so personal. Because at the time I was like, I ain't really gonna lie, I don't give a fuck. Nobody say, y'all can say that, oh, stick with your family, friends is snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes all look the same to me because friends is human,
Yeah.
family is human. So it was like, if blood is thicker than water, then I'll drink water forever, most definitely. So that was a long time ago, but that was the toughest ball that I could ever imagine.
Appreciate the both of y'all. Let's go. If you could have dinner with any 5 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
5?
5 people.
Any five.
Dead or alive? That's crazy.
Shout out All the Smoke.
Dinner, like just a chat with them, like just give it out.
Yeah, share a meal.
Nipsey. And this is all genuine mentions. Nipsey, Pop.
Wait, you said Pop Smoke?
Yeah, Pop Smoke.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just say they're all dead in a sense.
Yeah.
God rest their soul. But Nipsey, Pop Smoke, Lil Snoop, Tupac and Biggie.
Why that 5?
They all I like their music. Like that's just me.
That's 5 heavy hitters.
Yeah. The Snoop. I found out about Snoop when I was 16. I found out that he died.
This your charger?
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to take it out the room.
Alright, back. Yo, NFL. Record, my nigga. I said record. I gotta hear your part. We gotta tap in.
Oh, you want me to record
Yeah.
now? I was
Below
gonna
the
record
beat.
second.
Below the beat.
I was
Nah,
gonna be in there.
I mentioned Snoop because I fucked with him in 2017. I mentioned Pac and Biggie. They a 2-man pack together. You gotta mention them.
Right. Can't mention one without the other.
Exactly. But I just like mention them because I really do like that. I like Biggie's style. I like Pop's Pac's too. I said Pop's, but Pac's flow and just like how he made those songs and how he was able to like really storytell. Who else? Nipsey, just because he passed, but like the marathon and stuff like that, it reminds me of like what I got going on with the movement and just by me losing people in my life, I was understanding that losing legends or people like that, you gotta have respect for them because they did their thing while they was here. You listen to their projects, you go back and listen to them. They did something that was really big in a big way that will forever live them on, and you want to do that same thing into your artistry too. So that's why I mention them a lot.
Alright, bro. I'm tired. I think the most important part of the question is what's on the menu for that dinner, which I eat.
Shit.
Let's see what his palate looking like.
You gotta think about the niggas, because some of the niggas you name from they out west.
Right.
What you really about to put on your plate for them?
Let's see it.
I pull up auntie, shout out my aunt, shout
there we
out
go.
my aunt Gally, one of the Reddit's kitchen. I probably tell her to cook up like some baked macaroni and cheese.
Sheesh.
What
Sheesh.
lasagna, shrimp.
Sheesh. Nas the bugging.
just to, like, cause Snoop skinny like me, they gonna eat.
Right.
Pop gonna, cause they he did poetic justice. Fucking who else? Nip gonna eat too. You know what I'm saying? Like he always gonna come or he gonna show love.
Right.
And who the last person? Who I said? Nip, Lil Snoop, Big Pop. And Pop. Oh, and Pop.
Yeah, Pop Smoke.
If he can drip me there, he probably bring the energy there. So just those, because I feel like it would just be interesting to have all of them. Especially because they from different eras.
I know where we going for Thanksgiving.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, my world, man.
Nas, talk to me. 5 people dead or alive.
Damn, they have to be artists because I could be like.
Not anybody.
I ain't gonna lie. So if that's the case, I ain't gonna lie. First one on my list, Denzel Washington. I ain't
Dope.
gonna lie. Don't quote me for me. I can't come at me for that.
Dope. My favorite movie is He Got Game.
You know what I'm talking about? Like it's a classic right
Mm.
there.
It's classic.
Heavy on the classic. Jay-Z for sure. I would most definitely Meek.
Are you thinking about rappers? I was gonna pick those if I was just choosing rappers, but I guess
Ice Cube.
Oh, that's a first. Dope.
See?
People sleep on that, but I'm shouting out to Cube. Was
Shout out
definitely
to Cube.
And the last person. It's crazy how I named the actor, but for real, I would. I ain't gonna lie, what's her name? Angela Bassett.
Oh, wow. That's dope. And then, which I eat at that dinner? What's on the menu?
I'm not even gonna lie, just soul food.
Cook it up.
I ain't gonna lie, we need everything soul food. I'm talking about like down south, collard greens looking wet as shit. I ain't gonna hold you with the neck bone sitting up in there too. I ain't gonna hold you. The Big Mac and cheese, but we gotta use multiple cheeses. 4 cheese Mexican. I gotta use them.
Okay.
4 cheeses.
Say no more now.
Mexican. I'm trying to tell you.
You giving out the recipe, man.
And I ain't gonna lie, the crispiest fried chicken in the world. Make sure you cut out the fat too. That's what wrong with people. They don't like to cut out the fat. You need to cut out the fat.
Say no more, I bet. We got a couple more questions. Let's go. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell the younger version of yourself and why?
To be ready for the future. Because if I wasn't during that time, you know, I am right now. So I would just go back and be like, yo, get ready. Cause shit about to get hard. You know, whatever anybody tell you, listen. But still be open-minded. Still, you know, be your own person. Don't let nobody's fear on you. Don't let nobody's opinions fear on you. That's why I would just tell myself the same thing that I've gained from you know, everything that happened to me now. I would just tell myself to be ready for that and just keep that open mind. Keep that same mindset that you guys, a young kid losing your pops. Keep that same grit, that same hunger. Because it's gonna get you somewhere.
I bet. Nah, talk to me. Know what you know now. What would you tell the younger version of yourself and why?
To never be easily influenced or easily discouraged, because that's one thing that I definitely did battle with a lot. Because you know, always trying to just fit in where everybody else is at. It's like you seem kind of, you know your character.
Yeah.
For me, so you feel like you can fit anywhere with any type of group of people. So it's like the older you get, it's kind of like you know where to kind of put your foot out in the door, whatever the case may be. So I just feel like I definitely did put myself down so much because like one person tells me one thing and it's like you're trying to be a perfect person because like at the end of the day you know yourself. So it's like you just want to keep being a better you, and it's like when one person be like, well, you could have did this different and you could have been better at that, like you used to be good but you're not like that, now you kind of just shut down into some mode like I could have been better, but since this person is telling me that, like, you know, you're not trying hard enough.
Say
like,
fuck them.
Just
That's
what I should have said to them. Fuck him and just say fuck him. At the end of the day,
like that.
you know yourself. At the end of the day, you know yourself. Nobody, like I said, you can't. Nothing that goes on in your life, regardless if it was a mistake, good or bad thing, can define you. At the end of the day, you do know yourself, and that's one thing I would have told myself. Keep discouraged about what people say, man, because look where we at.
Right.
Exactly. Keep disappointing the people that want to see you fail. That's what it is.
Oh, don't let that go.
One person that's going to tell you when you get older is going to be 50 million more people that's going to tell you the same thing. So it's like,
for real.
You can never be
Cause
discouraged.
shit, we all go through the same shit. Like
against that.
that's really what it is about. Like that, I feel like is the difference with the I want to say really younger, young, getting to be old, and then old is that all the old people been through what we about to go through. So it's like I get it why people would pass down knowledge or whatever. Cause nigga, we about to go through. It won't be the same situation. It won't be just like. But it's gonna be in the same thing where we can be like, I can relate to that. So it's like, why not have abundance of music or a group or
that kind of happen naturally too. Cause I be saying things. I be like, that's my mom. That sounds just like my mother.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Why not?
Gotcha. This next question is mainly for Ty. Ty, if your father was sitting right next to you, what would you tell them right now?
What would I tell him right now? Tell him I love him and that I'm missing him. And that their reasoning of leaving ain't go. I don't want to say to waste, but when them leaving, it's like more of me just picking up where they left off. Like it's like I gotta do this for them. Like now they looking down on me now. Now I gotta make them proud. Now I gotta, like you know what I'm saying. So I just feel like I'm just grateful for where I'm at right now. And I was just telling them, just make sure I love y'all. That goes to anybody who wants somebody. That feeling of messing up. It seems like it go away. It seems like it just disappears, fades away. That shit don't. That shit stay with you, trust me. Anybody got cool or whatever. But when you go back home at night, you be thinking, and you ain't got that special someone that you used to call so much, or used to talk to, always be around, it hit different. Right. So I would just tell them, I miss them, I love them, and them leaving encouraged me so much to better myself as a man and as an artist. That I went out my way, did something that I never did before, and that is to become an artist and prevail with the people who I came up with. So I just tell them I appreciate y'all.
Alright, thank you so much for that one. We got 2 more questions left. Nas, Ty, who do y'all want to see next on the Hood Journal podcast?
I ain't gonna lie. I want to see Rob. I'm always gonna say my brother. I want to see Nas on here. I want to see NFL. He in the studio too.
Yeah, we got a lot of
talent and everything. Energy is amazing. Just yeah, that's really it. That's really it. For them to have a lot, for you to have like you gonna have a lot to say. He gonna have a lot to say. For y'all to have a story to tell. I feel like those two is the first people I can think of.
Nas, talk to me. Who do you want to see next on the platform?
I most definitely want to see myself. I ain't gonna lie. Even with this short little period of time that I'm sitting here, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely interview him. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate that.
But kind of what he said, but a whole group. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely probably like whatever happens when it comes down to the expansion of just us having more people. Like I said, we got Mel, and then it's like this is a big group of us outside of what's going on. But I definitely want us to have a group interview. That would be calm because these guys just fill up enough.
But like I'm telling you,
that would be something.
The more the merrier.
Look forward to that. For me, for all artists is to sit down, even if you're not a goddamn artist, you're a brother. For the sit down and like really have a talk and just see like what happens in the next like 2 years type shit. Because we don't know when we're gonna see you again. But it's like if it was to happen, like damn, what the fuck would happen in a year from now?
I bet. Say that. That be some marks the end of the interview. But this is the talking shit segment. Anybody want to shout? Anything want to give you a chest? Tell the people what they want to hear.
August 28th, Volume 3 coming soon. Like I was trying to say earlier that I forgot, but now I finally remember. I don't know if the project is going to be able to be fully done by August 28th to fully drop on that day, which I tremendously really do want to drop on that day. I'm even going to all the way to Jersey to go drive out, get like a little zip car or whatever, and drive out and go see my grandfather, actually do my respects on his birthday coming up. But the project isn't. It's like 80% done, and I'm in the studio now trying to get it, completely to how I want it. I know I am a perfectionist, but I know I just wanted to be able to have, a feeling in the music where it can touch people all across all tracks. It won't be anything messed up or out the loop. So August 28th, Volume 3 is coming, and TMT2 coming soon. Definitely.
Nah, let's talk to me.
Man, Virgo is coming out September 3rd. Make sure y'all definitely get in tune with that. Appreciate you for the little time that I have here. He is him. He is that guy. And Balla Brothers, you can't stop the movement that been moving, nigga. For me.
Yes, sir. Todd, thank you so much for inviting me out to the studio session. Thank you for the great interview, great conversation. Yes, sir. That's a wrap.
I remember them days of feeling like my mind is so twisted, of taking these drugs and being so distant. And never since my grandfather died, my whole life to shifted. And now I'm reminiscing about the beginnings. Yeah, you rapping cause you want it, I'm rapping cause I need it. This music shit to me is therapy, it's like a treatment. I swear on everything, you look at me different. Just if only you knew how I was treated. Yeah, we follow the innovators and not the imitators. Yeah, you been a traitor, but you don't know shit about that garbage piling up so much. Sooner or later, you gotta throw it out in the incinerator. Yeah,